Hello, happy Thursday and happy first day of NFL. Tori, how are you?
Oh, that the NFL is finally starting back up. I don't know about you, but I'm not a super huge college football fan. Like I cheer for the Badgers. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm from Minnesota, so I hope the Gophers do good, but I'm more of a Badgers person. And so I'll keep up with them, but I'm not like super into college as much as I am like the NFL. So I've been so excited.
Absolutely.
Like it's felt like a Friday all day because I've been so excited. How about you? How's everything going?
Nature is healing. NFL is back. I am so excited. I could not be more excited. I'm same thing. I watch college football on Saturdays. It's fun, it's something to do, but the NFL is my bread and butter.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I keep up with the NFL more, which is like super funny because when it comes like basketball season, complete opposite. I'm like way more college, way less NBA.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I'm only NBA whenever it comes down to the Bucks and playoffs and
Yeah.
finals and
I say
stuff
I
with
really
basketball.
only kind of pay attention during the playoffs, but my team is never there because the Timberwolves suck. But on paper we're supposed to be okay and we just never do anything with it.
It sounds like
So
a little bit like our defense.
that's a that's a touchy subject there, Emily. But um, yeah. So I mean, first week of the season, or like week one, and it's
Mhm.
the Bears. Like, how do you feel about our first game being against the Bears?
I wish it wasn't against the Bears, to be honest. Like if it could have been against
Agreed.
like the Chargers or something, so that
Not a
way,
divisional team. That'd be
yeah,
nice.
I'd like to see how we do full strength, and then that way maybe I could start to like talk crap to the Bears fans because I've been really like hesitant about it just because I'm like, I don't know. I don't want any
We
receipts on me.
If we win this game, oh my god. Twitter will like
Burn.
implode. I know.
It will burn.
I was upset last season when it was the Vikings because it's a
Mhm.
divisional game. I don't like you're not in your realm, you're not in like your routine. So I was like super upset we had to play the Vikings, especially because the Vikings are usually our biggest not like rival, but
Competition.
there we go. Thank you. Words have been hard this week, man. It's that long weekend. But
Uh-huh.
yes, they're our biggest competition. And so the Bears though, I'm kind of happy it's the Bears if it is a divisional game. Like I am happy that it's the Bears. I think
Okay.
they'll be more excited that it's the Bears. I feel the best about beating the Bears out of our division. I know that they've like added some people to their team and their roster, but like
Yeah.
we'll see. I keep hearing about Justin Fields. I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
But speaking of Fields, he's had a lot of talk from
Hmm.
Bears fans for sure. And now we get a Field love matchup. It is not the I still own you Aaron Rodgers for the first time in
Hmm.
forever. So who do you think out of the two will come out on top, like statistically? Not necessarily win, but stat
Uh-huh.
wise.
If it's purely stats, I could see Justin Fields simply because I assume he's going to be running like majority of the time.
He's gonna have to
I
his own line.
Yeah, I hope that he throws like 80 interceptions and we just demolish them, but I think it's hard to say, especially because we've seen Love in bits and pieces, and the Eagles game last year looked really good, and they've said he's only improved since then. But it's hard to make a bet on a quarterback that is still a little bit unknown. So, what about you? Who are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like stat wise, I was thinking Fields just for the fact that like he's started more games than Love,
Mhm.
obviously. So he's maybe had time to get a little bit more comfortable. But like I said, like their O line is not the best.
Mhm.
So I don't think they're going to give Fields the time he needs to feel comfortable to throw the ball. So, like you said, he's going to probably have to scramble a lot more, run around, which he's good at. So I'm sure his
Yeah.
rushing yards will be a little bit higher. Um, I'm hoping our completions are better. I'm hoping our yards are better,
Mhm.
touchdowns. I hope, less interceptions. It'd be great if we can get out of like this first game, no interceptions. I'll be like pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like my bar is low, and it's not because of Jordan Love himself.
Right. No,
My bar is
absolutely.
just low because, like, I know my time is coming to where I'm not going to be spoiled with a good quarterback. Like, I was literally born in 1997, in January of 1997, about a week before we won the Super Bowl for the
Mhm.
96 season. So I was like born into victory
Born
with like
into greatness.
literally born into greatness and haven't came out of it yet. It's like, I know our time's coming, but I'm
Mhm.
hoping it's not.
It's definitely hard because I was born in '96, so same thing. Like running into that, and it's definitely hard having a different quarterback. And I will say, I think the other hard thing is how many people have been like, "So, how do you feel about?"
Are you
Uh,
are you getting tired of getting asked about Jordan Love?
no,
Like
I'm getting tired of
all
how do I
around.
feel about Rogers being gone and seeing him in a different green and a different number and just yada 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 yada. So that's where I'm like, I've hit my breaking point to where I'm like, it is very clear that Rodgers is not on our team anymore.
Yeah, like
Let's move
guess what?
on. Like,
I've been over it all season. Like I
I'm
really
over
have.
it. Yeah,
That has
I'm
not like
over it.
I've had more people ask me in Kansas City, like, so who is your starting quarterback? And I'm like, the guy we drafted like 3 years ago, guys. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
He went to Utah. He
was
had great film. Like,
I know.
I'm
I
like
was
putting all
like
the bullet points.
literally basically a repeat story of Brett Favre. It's that guy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Aaron
absolutely.
Rodgers, except Rodgers got like one more season than Favre did.
That and also I think Rodgers was a better mentor to
I
Lev
definitely do.
than
I've
Favre
told him
was.
that too, and that's why I'm hoping he's a little bit better. Is Favre
Mhm.
was a very much this is not my place to like train my replacement, and I
Yeah,
understand that I do.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
but like being someone that came from team sports, I'm like, come on, like,
Hmm.
don't you like you want to be great and stuff and be a better teammate than that.
Yeah.
So, but it seemed like Rogers did kind of work with him. I'm not going to say he like went and like strictly mentored him, but I mean, he still
Hmm.
texted him like, like good luck before the game. And
Yeah.
that's, it's just a good
Huge.
ex teammate kind of deal, be
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about Rogers not being there at uh, Jordy Nelson's Hall of Fame inductee day?
Little like kind of surprised. I
Yeah,
don't know if he's like ready to be like back in
back in
that
Lambeau.
Green Bay. Yeah, I don't think he's ready
Mhm,
for that though.
mhm.
I'm sure he like somehow found a way to watch it. I mean, I don't think they were streaming it anywhere, but like
No,
I'm sure he has like his ways because like they were good. Like they
besties.
were good buds. So like
Yeah,
I don't know. It kind of sucks for sure, but
yeah.
ugh,
That was kind of my thinking on it too, because of how like not saying that Jordy Nelson wouldn't be Jordy Nelson without Rogers,
for
but
sure.
Jordy Nelson is Jordy Nelson because of Rogers. And I think Nelson understands why Rogers was not present. I understand why Rogers was not present,
I
but
mean,
it did kind of
Rogers is
hurt
a
me.
super kind of like emotional guy, and I mean, he's out there. We all know it, and
Hmm.
so like I can see him being like very spiritual and being like, I'm just not ready to like be back in like that atmosphere and stuff like that. And he wants to focus on like this upcoming season because he's got
Yeah,
a lot to
absolutely.
prove this season, especially after
Hmm.
last season. Um, but back to kind of love. Who do you think is going to get the most targets this coming game?
It's hard because we have some players spectating to be out.
We
So
have I read the injury or like, like for the practices today and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Our depth wasn't good like to start.
we went from like having like a scale 2 to then we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of like giving me almost the vibes against the Cardinals game when Devontae Adam was out
When
and
person after person after
person.
person was
Yeah,
like listed as injured. But I mean that turned out okay. So,
we turned out okay. So I think I've seen some good stuff about the rookie Reed, which I think he was drafted in the 7th round. So that's kind of who I'm hoping gets some
oh man.
love per se. What about you?
Oh man, can't wait to, have the like one of the last round guys, be our possible most targets for Emily. Uh, I don't know. I wanted to say like Watson originally, just being like the easy cop out, like he's gonna probably be our number one, and like
Hmm.
his speed getting downfield. I would like to see that, but now, I mean, Dobbs has been not practicing, and
Hmm.
then now Watson's not practicing, and like usually like Thursday's my day to like kind of gauge,
If they're
if
gonna
they're
play or
gonna
not.
play. Like Thursday's that day for me. I I still feel like they're gonna try and get him out there somehow, just for some
Wait,
help.
Watson or Dubs?
I'll take I, I'll
Both.
take a, I'll take either. I would maybe I don't know, just somebody. Give me somebody as a wide receiver. If they're out though, I am hoping for the love of God because I drafted Kelsey in one of my
Okay.
leagues.
Oh,
Obviously he's on my
oh,
bench right now, and so
ouch.
I had originally in my draft, I had Kincaid, which was like the backup tight end for the Bills. And I'm like, he's not going to get me anything. Like, why would a backup tight end get me anything? So I picked up Musgrave because I'm like,
What?
he is our number one tight end. And that's the only number one tight end that was available left. So I'm hoping that Musgrave gets the most targets because it is a PPR league. And I mean, like I said it, I think the last time that we talked, that I think that he targeted him like quite a few times in
Hmm.
preseason. So, and I didn't hate what I saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So since everyone's so young, do you have a rookie that you think is going to kind of maybe stand out, do better?
I'm hoping for Mr. First Rounder, Lucas Van Ness. Luke, I don't know. I don't remember his first name is, but LVN, I think is what they're calling him. I'm hoping that he plays. I'm not sure because our defense is pretty stacked already, but obviously if they drafted a defensive player in the first round, they had to see good things in him. So who knows, maybe he will get some good reps in, the defense.
I mean, like, if we're gonna possibly struggle on offense just to kind of get, in the groove
Our
of things,
feet
our
wet.
defense better be ready to go. Well, we better be putting pressure on fields as much as we can. Like,
Yeah.
I said, their O line's not the best. So I'm
Hmm.
hoping that we can get through and maybe cause some turnovers or something. Just keep the ball in our court as much as we can.
Yeah. Yeah, get the like the hype going. I think especially like, we'll talk about next week too, but like starting two games on the road
Yeah.
kind of, isn't draining, but it's just like you don't have that hometown love. So I'm hoping that, if the defense can get stuff rolling, then maybe that will kind of pump up the offense and kind of get the blood flowing back in the offense.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I think like I'll admit I'm one of them. I'm one of those Packers fans that I have not said a ton. I have not been like talking shit with people about like how good we're gonna do this season because like I have no idea how we're gonna do this
Yeah,
season. Give me a
absolutely.
couple games and then I'll either talk shit or I'll, you know,
Cry in a corner.
yeah, right. Just not in public. I would never cry in public. But yeah, so I think this first game, divisional game, rival game, it's
Hmm.
going to, I mean, if we can come out with a win, people are going to be feeling a lot better.
Yeah,
Just like
I
the
think that's
fans in general. The team itself's going to feel good because I mean, they
mhm.
don't know what's going on either yet. They're so young.
Yeah,
Like,
they're little babies.
right? They're little babies. Some of them are starting their first game in the NFL on Sunday. So it's going to, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a tough game.
Hmm.
With that, do you think this is the first time the Bears will beat us in about like 5, 6 years? Do you think this is the game that they could beat us?
I'm optimistic, so I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic and say it might be a tighter score, but I think we'll win.
You think if it's a tight score, you think it's more high or low?
I could see it being like 13-14 type of situation is kind of my vibes, is
If
what
it's a
I'm
tight
feeling.
game, I could see it being more a low scoring
Yeah.
game. Young quarterbacks, whatever.
Hmm.
But again, yeah, we talked about the offense being questionable right now, just health wise and everything. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously I like to see that we come out and we win this game. Could could this be the game they beat us? I think it could be.
Yeah, it really could
I'll
be.
say it. Like, I know you are optimistic. I am pessimistic. Because if you're pessimistic, it can only go up from there. That's
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
I think this could be the game they beat us. And I think it's just like we've been saying, it's young people, it's a lot of new people in positions that they just need to get used to being on a team with in a live game, not against second stringers, third stringers that we
Yeah,
are seeing in
preseason.
preseason. Because, like, even if they're seeing starters in like the first quarter or something, like, that's not enough to get you to know what it's going to actually feel like in a live game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the stakes are higher too, because like in preseason, I mean, we have seen so many injuries this last couple
Oh
seasons.
my
So I
God.
think that they play full out, but I also think that there's like a little bit of like holding back just so that way they don't get hurt in preseason and lose their opportunity to actually play in a, you know, full season NFL game. So
Yeah,
it's exciting. I'm very excited. I'm super excited. But again, like we said earlier, I just wish it
I'm
wasn't against the
nervous.
Bears. I
I
am
know.
nervous.
I am nervous because, like, if the Bears beat us, I don't want to go on Twitter for like a week. Like, I don't want to see
Yeah.
it. But the thing is, like, this is so when what was it? When we were starting to go like undefeated, 20, what was it? I think
I think it was like 2019.
I was like a freshman. I think I
Oh, okay. So like
remember.
way back.
Like way back. Yeah. Okay. I'm not that old.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I remember I was born after you, but no. So the Chiefs beat us to break our undefeated season. And Jared reminds me of that very frequently.
Hmm.
But I've always said, though, I would rather lose our games in like the actual season because when it comes to playoffs, I do not feel you're going to just go undefeated the entire season.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know,
I mean,
so if you got to get a loss out of the way, get it out of the way now, learn from your mistakes. I hate that our freaking bye week is so early, and
yeah, I was
last year
super
it was
excited.
so late. But I
Yeah.
mean, we might freaking need it at this point,
Hmm.
considering all the injuries we have.
I will say, like small plug, the bye week, I am actually not mad at the date that it falls on, simply because that is the weekend that the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie comes out. And I was like, well, let me see what time our game is so I can see if I want to go to the movie in the morning, the afternoon, or the night. And I was like, it's our bye week. And I was like, hell yeah. So I'm gonna see the movie at 2:45 and just not do football. So that is my shameless Taylor Swift fan plug. But
So yeah, so you're a Swiftie.
I am a major Swiftie.
I think you went to the concert, didn't you?
I did go to the concert here in AT&T, and I have tickets to see
And
her
you're
in
not
New
bankrupt
Orleans.
yet?
Honestly, because we bought tickets from the sale, like from
The pre-sale?
Ticketmaster. Yeah, they were cheap, and leading up to the game, whenever people
Cheap.
started $180.
Cheap.
Okay, some people are paying $12,000 to go see her. That
Yeah,
is
some
not me.
people are idiots. No.
Yeah, that is not me.
No, I mean, for the big name she is, that's not that bad.
Yeah, yeah, and I think our tickets to see her in New Orleans next October, it was like 190 something, which again wasn't horrible. So I, especially compared to people that are paying all those monies, so I'm happy. I'm not complaining. So
You gonna dress
I'm
up
not.
for the movie?
I think so. I think we're dressing up and we're making friendship bracelets for it
Of
also.
course. Bracelet. Anyways, let's get back to football here. Because I don't want to talk about Taylor Swift because I don't know shit about her, honestly.
No worries,
Uh,
it's okay.
so fantasy football starts today with the game starting. I've already talked about how fucking Kelsey's out for me, but Emily and I discussed, and we would like to go over one of our best drafts that we have. Because I know, like, I'm in multiple leagues. I'm not sure about you,
Hmm.
but we would kind of like to compare our drafts and see which team would win overall.
Okay.
So, do you want to start or do you want me to go?
Um, let's see. It's hard because I think my best team is my dynasty league.
That's not
So
fair.
Oh, okay, okay. We can go through it quick, and then we can go through the worst draft.
Oh gosh.
So my best team, I have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, Dallas Goddard, Chris Olave, and then AJ Dillon. And then we play individual defensive players, and so I didn't screenshot that, but I have Max Crosby and a couple other players
Okay.
that I just grabbed in the veteran draft. So, what about you?
So I think my bet, honestly, I'm pretty decent at fantasy football for the most part. Like I usually average around like a top 3 finish. And this year, I just have not felt very good about like any of my drafts. And I think it's because we
Oh
put more money
no.
on them and like I'm not lucky. So like I'll fuck up. But now my work, I think my work team is my best when we're doing like a league. And
Okay.
so my team name is Amon Ra Dogging It. And I got first round was Kelsey. And so I had to
Hmm.
put him on the bench. I already said I picked up Musgrave instead for this weekend. So I got Prescott with Kirk Cousins as my backup. Really not pumped about those. But
Okay.
Cousins can put up some like numbers consistently.
Ridiculous numbers, absolutely.
Yes. So as long as he doesn't like turn the ball over, I might be
Hmm.
okay. Got Derrick Henry. I got Tony Pollard for, the Cowboys. Amon St. Brown. D Hop. Again,
Okay.
wasn't super pumped about. I went more running back heavy with
Okay.
this league. And then, so we have 2 flex spots. So I have DeAndre Swift in one, and
Nice.
I got Pittman in the other.
Okay.
And then Tyler Bass is my kicker, and I have the New Orleans uh,
Saints.
Saints. Yes, thank you for
No,
my
you're good.
defense. I just like their defense is usually not terrible.
Hmm.
And I think that they're going to be able to keep the ball. Like they're going to be able to like take more breaks because I think they have a better quarterback this season with
Hmm.
Carr. Um, but they have the like easiest schedule this whole season.
Yeah, they really do. I
So
forgot
that's
to
why I was
say
like, I think they're a decent pickup for defense. I'll take it.
I forgot to say my team name. My team name with Patrick Mahomes is me and my homies.
Of course. Of course. So who's the I was gonna say who's your new people, but because I was like,
So
you have like you don't have like rookies really.
honestly, all of those people that I listed, Mahomes, Hill, Chubb, Goddard, Olave, and Dylan, I all kept on my dynasty league. So I just paid for them, figuratively with whatever cap space we have.
Yeah.
Olave was free because he's still a rookie. And then I ended up picking up some other players that just were kind of iffy. What was really interesting was that someone dropped Dalvin Cook as one of their vets, and I figured he would be someone that someone would pay to keep, but he was available. But
Maybe because they didn't know because he got dropped by or like because the Vikings and stuff. Maybe they just weren't
yeah,
following. I don't know.
it
Because
was it was kind of an odd one.
he's not bad. I did pick up what is it, Manson or whatever is their running back now. I got him in one league in like my flex
Okay.
spot just to see like how they do or whatever. But oh gosh, I got the game going already because it is the first. It is the first week, but so okay. Between my team and your team, I think there's like no comparison that you could beat mine. But I didn't get to bring any people over, Emily.
I know. It's
This is
uh,
not fair.
okay. So if we're going by ones that we drafted, this was a full draft. I'll just go through it real quickly. I did draft Aaron Rodgers, which was really funny because 30 minutes prior, I was like, this will be the first time in 5 years that I don't draft him. And then the rest of the quarterbacks I was not happy with because
I
they
don't
went on
know
the
about
quarterback
your
run.
drafts, but in all 3 of mine, quarterbacks started going so early.
Same this year. The two that weren't dynasty, there was a run at the end of the loop on the first round and on the second round. So by the time it got back to me,
That's
like
really early.
it was really early, and I was surprised. And so the options were Prescott, Cousins, Tua, um, Deshaun Watson, and I was like, ugh.
I know, I was
So
like, I'm not taking a rapist, but
that was my thing. I refuse to. I won't take him. I won't take Prescott. I will not take Justin Fields
I
currently with
have
Stafford.
Prescott and Cousins in 2 leagues, not just 1, because they kept going so quick, because I am one that I don't wanna get a quarterback in fantasy until it's, like, the 6th round, like, the 6th
Sixth, yeah,
round.
sixth or seventh. Yeah,
And
that's what normally.
they were going, and, like, most of them were gone by, like, the 3rd round. I'm like, I am still looking at running backs and tight end and wide receivers over
Yeah,
here. Like, I am
yeah.
not thinking about a
A
quarterback
quarterback, yeah.
yet, and then I was like, "Well, shit, I have to get someone."
Hmm.
But
So that.
all I was gonna say also at that point with, like, the ones you listed were kind of the same ones that we had, available when I was looking, and I felt that all of them were so already, like, similar stat-wise that I was like, I might as well just, like, keep taking, like, other positions because I'm gonna get someone that's gonna do the same thing no matter what.
Right. Yeah, and I think for Rodgers, like I've been telling everyone, like I'm like he's either gonna break his collarbone within the first 12 games, or he's going scorched earth and they're winning the Super Bowl. So I'm like, there's no in between. It is going to be one of those. So I'm like, we'll see. So I have Rodgers, Mixon, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Chris Godwin, Harrison Butker, and the Falcons as my defense.
Falcons, interesting.
I started off with the Jaguars because they had a good rating, and then their points scored like estimated was really low, so I swapped them for the Falcons.
I picked up so in my league, gosh, which one was it? One of my leagues, I had I can't remember what defense I got, but I picked oh, I had the Jets, but they play
Okay.
the Bills, and I'm like, I do not want that in my lineup, but I want to
Mhm.
keep the Jets. So I dropped like my last pick and I picked up the Jags because they play the Colts.
Okay.
And so like when I didn't have a good defense in fantasy, I would literally just like every single week go to the waiver and just be like, all
Hmm.
right, what defenses are left? Who are they playing? Like who's the lowest scoring opponent? That's who I'm going to pick is whoever's
Oh
playing
yeah.
that team. And so it's worked out for me in the past. I got the Jags for this week and we shall see how it
I
goes.
will say, like the first couple of years of playing fantasy, I never worked on the waiver because I was like, these are my boys, they're my babies, I'm committed. And these past like 2 seasons, I am like, see ya, like,
Oh
don't
yeah,
work out
I'm
yet.
like jumping around like
Yeah.
crazy. We have one girl at our work that this is her first year ever.
Oh
Huge
no.
Chiefs fan. Picked almost all the Chiefs except for Kelsey because I got him. And
Ouch.
I was like, dude, you got to watch your bye weeks. Watch your bye weeks. Like, I was like, your week 10 is going to suck, man. Like,
Yeah.
you need to pay attention to buys. How long have you been doing like fantasy football for?
Um, I want to say maybe 7 years. I want to say since like the last 7 years. So
Okay,
my this is
okay.
my fourth year in the dynasty league. Um, I joined a new league with all girls, and then my friends, we've done a league for like 6 or 7 years. So
Nice.
what about you?
I do too. I've been doing one league. This is our second or third year, and it's all girls from Twitter, Packers fans. And then I have my husband's like friends, and then his dad, brother, and then my dad are in it. That one I've been doing for probably like 5 years because I think that's about as
Okay.
long as I've known Jared. And then my work one we just started, but like I my very first year ever was a family one, and
Oh,
and I got to make a team with my sister, who's 5 years younger, and I was in like 7th grade, and I'm like, this is my team, like this is not her team.
yeah, absolutely.
And I remember who did I have? I can't remember, but I actually like ended up doing not bad. Like I think I got like run of the mill like fourth or fifth.
Oh, not bad. Yeah,
But for
that's
like playing against a bunch of adults, like
adult.
I'll take it. Like adults that very well know football too,
Oh
because
yeah.
like my family's very huge into football on my dad's side. So, and I finished like fourth or fifth, like, and my team name was Coon on the Cob.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that.
I
I love
always
that.
pick a good team name. It's very important to me. Like it's, I feel like there should be a prize for the best team name.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I just got a notification that Joe Burrow reached an agreement with the Bengals on 5 years, $275
Jeez.
million. dollars.
Does he realize that with 1 year of his pay could erase all my debt? Does he like understand that?
That's
Student
50,000 a year.
loans, my new car that I had to get because my transmission blew, like
Aw.
like literally also on top of that, paid my whole year's worth of rent. You know what? Pay the next
Yeah.
5 years worth of rent.
Yeah. That
Because
is
we were talking
crazy.
about um Chris Jones because we're in Kansas City, of course, and we were
Hmm.
talking about his holdout, and when I brought that up, I was like, literally, his 1 year could pay off all my debt, and we were like thinking about, I was like, his 1 year could pay off all of the debt, like student loan debt for everyone in my office, who I am
Yeah.
working with, like people with doctorates. Like I was like,
Yeah.
you
Absolutely.
you could pay off all of our student loans.
Oh my gosh. What fantasy apps do you use? Like, do you have a favorite one or?
I am an ESPN fan. We used
Okay.
Yahoo for our very first one with my husband. And it's okay. We
Okay.
do Yahoo for like baseball fantasy. And like, first of all, I'm not a big fantasy baseball fan. I just joined the league because I needed someone. I said, sure. And it's too much to keep up with. I like how the football one is. It is 1 week. You set
Yep.
your lineup for the week, and it's a head-to-head win or lose. Baseball is like, do you have more steals? You're going up in ranks. Do you have like less hits? You're going down. Like
Oh
all your,
no.
it is way too
Mm-mm.
much. This year we're using Sleeper for
Okay.
our work one. Haven't used it before, but I think they're all like pretty similar. Like they're not too different. So
Hmm. I saw a TikTok today that it was a sleeper league and it's like the worst kind of fantasy football. So they do um five quarterbacks, no, four quarterbacks, five tight ends, three kickers, I think like two
per
defenses,
per team.
and yeah, per team, and then like two individual defensive players. Because on Sleeper you can completely customize it on certain players, like stuff like that. I was
You're
cracking
literally
up.
drafting people that are not touching the field.
So they talk about, because of like with it being the quarterbacks, like they said
Yeah.
that like if the touchdowns pass this amount of yards, like you get bonuses because of the fact of like the receiving yards and all that different stuff. And I'm like, that sounds so chaotic. I want to
5 wide
join.
receivers per
No, 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 no.
team
No, no,
as
no. It's
well.
no, it's like four quarterbacks, five tight ends. And then you
There's
have three
only
kickers.
like 6 decent ones on the
Yeah, you
list.
have three kickers, I think like two or maybe three defensive teams in a whole, and then like you pick two individual defensive players. It sounds so chaotic. I want to
That
join. I'm
is
like, sign me up.
I wanna vomit. You wanna join? Like, I wanna vomit. That sounds terrible.
I think it would be hilarious. Like, I think it would be
No, because
absolutely
like
hilarious.
you're not getting anything out of it. Like you can't watch people because okay, let's say it's a 8-man league, a small league, and
Yeah,
you have to draft 3 kickers. Do the math. Like
yeah,
3 kickers per team. Oh my god. I can't do
yeah,
that. And then the quarterbacks. Like again, you're drafting backups.
yeah. I'm not sure
Tight
how it works.
ends.
Yeah, tight ends. So no wide receivers and no running backs, just
I
tight
am
ends.
unwell. Like I am fidgeting so much right now. I am so unwell with that.
I stressed Tori out.
I'm very
Um,
stressed. Like the thought of that in a fantasy league will destroy me. But all right. I said we'd make this one short because the game is on and I've been watching it like the entire time over here. So, I mean,
I think we're
anything from
good.
you? Anything from you, Emily?
I'm gonna go look into this fantasy league for next season.
Yeah, you go. You can do it for both of us. I'm not doing that shit, but maybe one day we'll do a game on Wisconsin one.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'd be down.
I'm done to do like fantasy leagues. I need to stop though. I'm getting into too many. I feel like 3 is going to be a lot. Like I'm already
Yeah,
trying to like keep track of my teams and coming up with good names for all of them is very challenging.
hmm
I
I
have
have. Oh, go
my
ahead.
other one for my husband's. I have Eckler, and so my team name is my Eck, my back. And I made a custom photo for my logo. You're you're gonna like this if I can find it quick. I took the cover of like what is it, Kia, I think, who sings that song, and I put Eckler's face
Oh
on
my
her
god,
body, and that's my team logo. So,
that is incredible.
I have too much free time, but
No, I love
um,
it.
Emily, tell us where can they find you at?
You can find me at Twitter or X, whatever it's called, but Twitter at Emily Johnson with the two Y's and the three N's. Okay, I added them all on there. Okay, you can find me on there, or I'm on Instagram at just straight Emily Johnson, and always you can find us on Green and Gorgeous. So, what about you, Tori?
Definitely. You can find me on Twitter X at Tori Piat. Pretty sure anything that if you type in Tori Piat, it will 100% be me because like no one else is named that. I don't have the issue you do where people want to pay $200 or whatever for your name.
For my username.
Yeah, it's either
Mm-mm.
Tori Piat or Tori.Piat. But yes, like she said, Green and Gorgeous for sure, 2 underscores on there. And then follow Game On Wisconsin as well to keep up with all our other podcasts coming about. So good luck to our boys on Sunday, and we hope we can pull out a win.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, bye.
Bye.